Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros, at your service. Today I will be reading the September 24th Facebook post and making a few comments on it, and I trust it will assist both of us on our journeys. Here we go. Placing aside our illusionary veils of reality. Beneath the ego's thoughts are the thoughts of God's source. If you have bought into the ego's thoughts of judgment, anger, resentment, and revenge, you have bought into the idea that you are vulnerable, and thus weakening your truth. Your use of them attacks your belief in your true self, and so the more you believe in them, the less you believe in your truth. You walk around with this false sense of self and wonder why you feel unstable and insecure. Today, regardless of how the ego has programmed you to see and define the world, choose trust and peace above every thought the ego would have you think. When your thoughts upset you, understand that those thoughts are not truly yours, but they have been programmed into you, and so you now accept them as yours. Today, practice letting go of those thoughts that are not you, with the knowledge that you are safe, supported, and held steady and strong by the everlasting love that in truth you are. Imagine the truth of who you are being this beautiful light, beautiful, everlasting, loving light. As a creation of God's source, as a creation of love itself, this is who you are. God's source created you in her image. And so this is who you are. You are love. Some of love's expressions are kindness, joy, generosity, compassion, love, self-love, peace. And so when we are not expressing these, then we are simply experiencing the veils of illusion, the illusionary veils of, or the illusionary veils of reality, whichever way you want to put them. So let's imagine some veils. Let's imagine some veils being anger, judgment, resentment, revenge, self-worth issues. All these are veils that we have placed in front of our faces, let's say. And we could say that our friends, family, society, all helped us put these veils on us. And now we see the world through these veils, because there was a point in time where we did not judge our brothers and sisters, our parents, our peers, society, because we thought what that they were teaching us was true. And maybe they did try and do the best they could, but they only can teach us what they were taught. And so now we have these veils, as we said before: judgment, anger, resentment, revenge, self-worth issues. And the more we believe and use these or see through these so-called veils, the more we believe them as true and a true part of ourselves. And so when we use anger and judgment, and we use it over and over again, it becomes a greater and greater part of our life. And because it becomes a greater part of our life, we simply start believing that this is a greater part of ourselves, our true selves. But in truth, we are simply love. So anything apart from that is an illusion. And so let us take an example. Let's say self-worth issues. Let's say we're thinking we're not good or spiritual enough. And so a situation happens during the day, and we judge ourselves or our brothers and sisters as not being spiritual or not being good enough. And because we support this idea that we're not spiritual or good enough, we increase this belief system within us. And thus we increase the thickness, so to speak, of this veil. And so we start to see the world more and more through this thickening veil. And so this veil becomes more and more part of who we think we are. But now, let us today remember who we truly are, and let us practice expressing our truth instead of looking through these illusionary veils and believing that these illusionary veils are us. And so, again, we experience a moment where we think we're not spiritual enough. When that happens, do not judge yourself for this. Simply catch yourself quicker and quicker when you're doing this to yourself. And when you're doing this, you say to yourself, okay, I know that I am in truth love, but I'm right now experiencing something other than love. I'm experiencing something
it's 6 o'clock.
Thank you. That I define as being not spiritual. And so I will not judge myself for this. I will simply remember who I truly am. I am an extension of God's source. I am love. And so I will not judge myself for this. I simply catch myself being who I'm not and choose the opposite. Because I know that if I'm feeling not spiritual, then I'm looking through this veil of non-spirituality, and I'm seeing my brothers as non-spiritual. We're not good enough. And because we are all one, whenever I look at them as not spiritual, then I'm seen as part of myself as not spiritual. And this is not producing peace and joy, which is what love produces, peace and joy. So if I'm not producing peace and joy, then I'm being someone who I am not. And so I choose to stop that. And then I choose not to judge myself for doing that. And then I choose to use this moment when I'm thinking of myself as not spiritual, my brother or sister is not spiritual, as a spiritual workshop or a great opportunity to remember the truth in me and thus the truth in my brothers and sisters. And so I use this as a workshop for myself during the day. And then I start offering gratitude instead of self-judgment or judgment of others, because I am putting into practice my truth. And my brothers and sisters are assisting me in putting this into practice, putting my truth into practice. And as we said in the beginning of the video, what you put into practice, you strengthen. And then when you strengthen, you become. And so when we start practicing saying, no, I am a spiritual being. I am light. I am love. This is my truth. And if this is my truth, this is my brothers and sisters' truth. And then when I experience my brothers and sisters as spiritual beings and myself as a spiritual being, I obtain or receive peace of mind and joy. And this is my natural state. My natural state is to be at peace, is to be joyous. And thus when I'm doing what I am, that's the result I will receive. And so today let us simply place these veils aside, or recognize these veils when they're being experimented with, let's say. So whenever you have judgment, anger, resentment, jealousy, whatever veil we all have, and we're experiencing it in the physical, let us again not judge ourselves for that. Let us simply catch ourselves, see, okay, this is a veil I am currently choosing to experience, but this is not truly me. So let me just simply place it aside and return to my truth, align with my truth, align with the love that I truly am, and remember that my brothers and sisters are the same truth that I am. And then when you know you're doing this, it's because you achieve the state of peace, peace of mind, and joy. And so let us try that today. Let us put all these judgments aside. We don't need them any longer. And let us use them as our own workshops, as our own growth. And then let us offer gratitude. For every moment is helping us reach a higher level of consciousness. And as we reach a higher level of consciousness, we become a greater example and a greater light to our brothers and sisters. And our understanding, our light, will help them remember who they truly are too, through our example. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you would be so kind as to like, comment, or share this video, it would help with the listing process, and somebody who can use seeing this video might be able to see it someday. If you'd like to leave me a question, I would be delighted to try and offer a response. And if you can please subscribe to my YouTube videos, I would love to have you in this community. Again, thank you for your time. I love you very much, and God willing, we will see each other tomorrow. Peace.